CC, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal. That's fire, honestly. Unreal.
As soon as Caitlin Clark stepped back onto the Carver Hawkeye Arena court, the atmosphere ignited. The crowd roared at 116 decibels during player introductions, louder than many NFL or NBA matchups, and she hadn't even taken a single dribble yet. Clark launched a 36-foot three-pointer from the same spot where she once passed Kelsey Plum's NCAA scoring record, shaking the entire arena. 7 months off the court didn't dull a thing. Her return wasn't merely a game, it was a statement about what 2025 has in store. In this video, we'll revisit all the epic highlights from that iconic night. If you're pumped for the season, drop "fired up for the fever" in the comments. Let's get started.
What does it mean to you to be going back to play at Iowa, but this time with your jersey and the Raptors?
Yeah, I'm super excited to go back and play at Iowa. Obviously a place that has meant a lot to me, and we've had so many amazing games inside that arena, so it'll be fun to be back in front of those fans, and honestly to get to introduce those fans to all my new teammates. And the Indiana Fever, I think, will be really special because they love supporting all of us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I know it's gonna be a special day.
What do you get when a hometown hero returns after dominating the national spotlight? Iowa City answered with thunderous energy. Fans lined up around Carver Hawkeye Arena well before the game, not just to attend, but to witness the warm-ups, to breathe the same air as Caitlin Clark. The line circled the entire building, with people braving May's weather just to be part of a preseason event that wouldn't even count in the standings.
What are you the most excited to show your teammates around campus?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm most excited to show them how cool Iowa City is. Like, people don't realize how good of a college town that place is. My teammates just expect it to be cornfields, but I'm like, no, it's one of the greatest colleges. So, yeah, downtown Iowa City is where it's at. So we'll give them a little tour, and I'm sure they're going to want to come back.
7 months away from the hardwood is no small gap, and every second without Clark on the floor was noticeable. What would her first move be? A deep three from the logo, maybe? The second she appeared, the arena exploded. The sound hit 116 decibels during intros, louder than postseason noise, louder than many NFL stadiums. All for a preseason showcase.
Yeah, getting to go back to Iowa, it's so exciting. I obviously haven't really been there much since I left about a year ago. And I think just getting to see people that have supported me throughout my career and continue to support me is going to be incredible. But also, like, they're the biggest Indiana Fever fans too now. Like, they want to meet all my teammates. They want to cheer for my teammates. And I was telling some of the girls this the other day, I'm like, they're going to go crazy for you too.
For Caitlin Clark, Carver Hawkeye wasn't just a gym. It was where she reached stardom, broke unimaginable records, and helped elevate women's college basketball to must-see status. Thanks to her, Iowa now proudly holds the title of Women's Basketball Capital. Those walls witnessed her evolution from freshman to legend. Tickets averaged $670 per seat, not for a postseason match, not even a regular game, just to see history. Some fans traveled from other states. Others took time off work to welcome their icon back home.
Good luck finding affordable tickets for the Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Seats at the arena for the May 4th matchup between the Indiana Fever and Brazil were first offered to season ticket holders and a few top donors. It didn't take long for them to be gone.
Even her fellow players understood how much the night meant. Lexi Hull wore an Iowa jersey with Clark's number 22 during warm-ups, a heartfelt gesture symbolizing that this wasn't just another game for Caitlin Clark. It meant something deeper.
We're gonna have signs about you. They want your autograph. They want a high five from you. And I think that's what I appreciate about them the most is like they wanna cheer not only for myself, but everybody else on this team. And they have so much fun watching us. So now getting to take the Indiana Fever to them and their environment, I was telling Lexi and some of the other girls this other day is like, this will be the loudest arena you have ever played in. They're gonna scream, they're gonna cheer. When I tell them to get up, they're gonna get up. So it'll be fun to get to go back there since my last time playing there in the NCAA tournament my senior year, so it should be really special.
Clark felt the weight of the moment too. It was clear from her expression as she warmed up, glancing around the packed arena of 15,000 fans. This court had shaped her into a legend, and now she stood on it again as a pro who had already changed the game. But this evening wasn't about nostalgia. It was proof that her roots in Iowa remained strong and her skills had only grown. When the tip-off came, the crowd leaned in, Clark fully focused. And what came next stunned everyone, kicked off by a shot that sent the place into chaos.
Clark, pull up three, you bet!
Some moments in sports transcend the scoreboard. They speak volumes. From the jump, Clark hit her first bucket. Naturally, a three-pointer. But that was just the opener. Near the end of the third, with 25 seconds left, she took a few dribbles from 36 feet and launched it. That shot wasn't just another score. It was her bold announcement. Caitlin Clark had officially returned.
Better looking possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point after.
It didn't take long to see that Clark was settling back into rhythm. The same calm control, sharp court vision, and iconic playing style that once defined her college days were all present. Her passes were on point, her instincts flawless, and that trademark smile lit up the floor. Brazil's team was already struggling with Indiana's pace when Clark crossed midcourt. Her eyes locked in with that familiar intensity. The defense sagged, but not far enough. They never do. What elevated the moment further was the fact that Clark didn't just shoot from anywhere. She let it go from the very spot where she'd broken Kelsey Plum's record in her final college year. It felt like history repeating itself, this time with a different team and under the shadow of her retired number. Without hesitation, she launched it from far beyond the arc. The ball soared high in that classic Clark curve Hawkeye fans knew so well, and it swished in clean. No backboard, no rim, just net, adding even more magic to an unforgettable shot.
I saw 30 seconds. I'm like, I can make it 2 for 1 word. You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Did it get loud in here?
Did you get scored?
Yeah. No.
No one really cares. You gotta be better.
The reactions from her teammates spoke volumes. When Clark later asked if the crowd got loud after her shot, Sophie Cunningham teased, "When you scored?" "Not really," Lexi Hull added with a laugh. "I don't think anyone really noticed." But that playful teasing revealed something deeper. Real chemistry forming within the Fever. The crowd's response peaked at 117 decibels, sending a physical wave through the players. It wasn't just noise. It was the pure joy of nearly 15,000 fans who had waited for that exact moment. Coach Stephanie White summed it up perfectly. The shot wasn't only crucial for momentum, it was exactly why people showed up. "That's who she is. That's what she does," White said, capturing the essence of Clark.
Yeah, I thought it was electric. It's what you've seen, whether it's from the outside on television or being here broadcasting, but to actually feel the energy. I mean, it is a thing when you talk about having a six man, so to speak. Crowd energy. It gives you a lift. It gives you a boost. It's why we all do what we do, like to feed into these kinds of environments. And so it was a lot of fun.
That single shot encapsulated everything Clark stands for: boldness, deep range, a flair for the big moment, and her unbreakable bond with Iowa. The Logo 3 wasn't just a highlight, it was Clark making a statement that her magic hadn't stayed behind in college. As the net swished clean, it was clear her WNBA journey would carry the same intensity. It wasn't just a comeback, It was the beginning of a performance that proved the hometown star had only gotten better.
I think it's hard to put into words like what exactly it means to me. It's almost overwhelming to a point. Like I'm just very, very thankful to be able to come back to a place that continues to support me and see old friends that are having a great time getting to watch me do my thing, that don't play basketball anymore, that are just my friends, and spending time with them. Like even though it was just dinner last night, like it's just fun to come back here and like kind of feel like you're in college again in a way, but also it was a little weird like going in the locker room. And
The scoreboard read 108-44, but the true story went beyond the numbers. Caitlin Clark's return wasn't just a game. It was the prelude to what could be a legendary second season. While the 36-foot three-pointer stole the show, her 19 minutes on the floor revealed something much deeper. This wasn't the same player from 7 months ago. This was Caitlin Clark, fully unlocked.
I don't know, something about this gym like just makes me play well, and these shoes, like it just, I don't know. So there's something about it, but I just, a lot of gratitude and just thankful I can share it with my family too. A lot of them were here, my grandparents were here, and they don't get to come to many either. And yeah, these are the moments that like you never take for granted, and you kind of just want to stay in for forever. So
While fans kept an eye on the scoreboard, something much bigger was unfolding on the court. Clark had spent the last 7 months away from the WNBA, training, reflecting, and growing. The question wasn't whether she'd improve, but how much. The answer became clear right away. She looked physically stronger, absorbing hits in the paint that would have sent her tumbling last year. Now she finished those plays and sprinted back on defense, while defenders who once had her figured out were left scrambling.
We want to compete. We want to be our best. We want to compete at a high level. We've got edgy players. We've got competitive players. And I guarantee you it doesn't matter if we're playing cards or if we're playing basketball. They want to win. And they want to do what it takes to win and position themselves to win. So I love that about this group. It means that we don't waste time in practice. They don't waste reps. They don't waste moments we have to get better. And it really is a joy to coach.
Her court vision had grown too. One pass in particular stood out. A perfect thread through 2 defenders that hit Aaliyah Boston right in stride for an easy finish. Another time, she spotted Kelsey Mitchell in the corner before Mitchell even realized she was open. The day, ball landed in her shooting pocket, and 3 points followed. What made it even more impressive wasn't just Clark's skill, but the energy behind it. She celebrated every good play, cheered for her teammates, and pumped her fist when Boston grabbed a tough rebound. This wasn't just someone playing basketball. This was someone who truly missed the game.
Hard. Pull up 3. You bet. Extra feed. Hall. Another. Lancio. Olsen. Some trickery behind the bat. Hall elevates and drops it in. Here's Clark. Wow. You bet. From beyond the logo. And a little point afterwards.
The post-game emotions were just as powerful as the game itself. Clark embraced her former Iowa coaches, with tears welling up as she left the court. Every fan rose to their feet, applauding and showing gratitude in a way that even the most stoic couldn't ignore. Her post-game interview, where she thanked Iowa fans for always supporting me, felt like the perfect final note. As the clock ticked down on that 64-point victory, something even bigger became clear. This wasn't just a preseason game or a sentimental return. This was the Indiana Fever staking their claim for 2025. A team full of energy, chemistry, and movement was forming. And at the heart of it all stood Caitlin Clark, back home and ready to take the next step.
honestly, like I was really excited to just get out there and play, and especially getting to do it for the first time this season in front of these fans was really cool for myself. And like just seeing the amount of people and young girls and young boys that stand there and like scream for me to sign their stuff, like I don't take that for granted. Like that's so cool. Like I would be lying to you if I thought that was like just like normal and everybody gets to do that. Like they don't.
Amid all the excitement surrounding Caitlin Clark's return, there was an even more important takeaway for Fever fans: proof that this team was becoming something special. It wasn't just about Clark. The Fever played like a completely different unit. Their game against Brazil highlighted everything that had been missing last season. The ball moved with speed, shooters found open looks, and the defense forced 26 turnovers. The players fed off each other's energy. This wasn't Clark and the others. This was a real team. After a rookie year full of growing pains, the big question was whether the team could come together. On this night, at least, the answer was crystal clear. They absolutely could.
How important was it for you to showcase this to your Indiana Fever teammates, that this is special?
Well, I'm just thankful I could bring them all here. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for them. So, I mean, this is what women's basketball is all about, and all these people, 15,000 people and more, love them too. So that's what it's about.
Kelsey Mitchell showed exactly why she's the perfect scoring partner for Clark, racking up 17 points, including 4 three-pointers, several of them set up by Clark's pinpoint passes. Mitchell's 3 steals also highlighted her growing defensive commitment. When asked about the team's offensive improvement since their last preseason game, Clark didn't hold back. It wasn't as disjointed as our Washington game. That one was tough to watch.
Lose it. Another chance here for Indiana. Here's Mitchell, wiggling and cupping it in.
Aaliyah Boston's performance might have been the most promising aspect of the night. She finished with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, showcasing a developing chemistry with Clark that could form the backbone of this offense. Boston's calm demeanor and intelligent decision-making stood out, consistently creating opportunities for herself and her teammates.
You have the 3 teenagers on the roster as well.
Here's Mitchell popping and hitting from 3.
Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham showed exactly why they were a perfect fit for this system. Hull knocked down 3 three-pointers, while Cunningham's intelligence and hustle created space on the floor. Their selfless play and constant ball movement kept the offense clicking. Dana Bonner, Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, and Michaela Timpson brought intensity, energy, and grit. Just watch Colson's slick assist to Howard.
Indiana. Here's Howard running with Colson. Oh, Colson! Some trickery behind the back. Caitlin Clark, a big smile.
Coach Stephanie White's defensive strategy seemed like a total transformation. The Fever held Brazil to under 10 points in 2 different quarters, a feat that would have been unimaginable last year. Our defense was really solid, White said, though she admitted there's still work to do on communication and reducing mistakes. The offense flowed smoothly, a stark contrast to last season's struggles. Players made decisive cuts, located shooters, and relied on each other. Clark led without dominating, trusting her teammates. One of the most noticeable improvements? Clark's added strength. She stood firm against contact that would have knocked her down a year ago. Consistency in training helps you perform better through the season, especially when things get physical in the playoffs, Clark explained. As the buzzer rang to end the 64-point victory, it was clear this wasn't just a homecoming. It was a preview of a fully revamped team poised to rise in 2025. The Indiana Fever are no longer just Clark's team. They're a formidable force.
I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and they have a great impact on me too, and that's why you do it. Even at the end of the day, say I scored 0 points, I'm sure they still would have been there screaming my name and wanting an autograph, and I think that just really kind of puts into perspective the impact, and there's a lot more bigger things in life than basketball.
What unfolded inside Carver Hawkeye Arena wasn't merely a basketball game. It was a glimpse into the future of women's basketball. Clark's return to Iowa revealed something deeper, a connection with fans that transcends numbers and jerseys. When she waved goodbye with that final cheer, it wasn't a farewell. It felt more like, see you again, on a journey that's still unfolding. The Fever aren't just building a roster. They're crafting something that could redefine the sport. With seasoned players, new talent, and a motivated coaching staff, 2025 isn't just another season. It could mark the beginning of a revolution. If you're excited for the season, Drop a "fired up for the Fever" in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe the Basketball Prime Stories and hit that bell icon. We'll see you next time.